That's pretty cool. Is it still amplifying da-da-da? Yeah.
Well,
sure
here. You know what? Here. How about what we do, like you said, is just use this.
Use that audio, yeah, like that, so it's amplified for the phone.
That's what you're saying.
It actually works pretty well. So we're gonna be 3, 2, 1.
We're
Boom!
live.
Hey, how's it going? Welcome everybody to Tim and Brando Save the World.
Do you want to actually do a show, or is this just like a?
It's Tim and
Like
Brando
a
Save the
one-off?
World. It's the show. Introducing your host, me. So I'm going to be taking you on a journey with our guest today.
I'm the guest, but I'm in the title. Hey, how about that's awesome.
That's like on cinema at the cinema. Have you seen that segment from Tim Heidecker?
I haven't seen that segment, no.
That's a great segment, dude.
A lot of segments.
Check that out.
He's a bit machine, man.
Well, so the trial,
Cranking out bits.
we were talking about this just now. The trial is a trial of literally what happens to Tim, like in his life, you know? It's very meta, like it's his life, you know?
It's
and
like the character's accusation, or like the charges are to the character. It's bizarre.
It's like,
it's fun.
It literally on cinema is like an evolution of how Tim like fucks himself up, and that's how he gets to the trial. Like
You're right.
Yeah.
It's been so long
cool.
since I've
need to
seen
follow
it. Like it's been so long since I've seen it because I was following it as they were throwing it out there. But what I do know is that Tim's humor to me is dangerous. It's like people. It's very easy to love his humor if you've already. Like engorged a ton of like classic comedy, because I feel like this has been my relationship with like liking comedy. Like I was shown like the classic stuff from my parents and stuff, and then I started branching out into like kind of like alt, or not even alt comedy, but just like there's something different than Bill Cosby type of thing, you know.
Yeah.
And then, you become familiar with that, and then watching, for me, it was like Tosh.0, like listening to dirty comedy. And then finding Tim, it's like he is making fun of it all. Yeah. But at the same time, he's still like putting on a narrative. I don't know, it's it's amazing. But what's dangerous about it to me is that, like, if that starts influencing my, especially stand-up comedy, then I feel like I would be more inclined to do shit on stage that people, because the thing is, when people go to his stand-up, they're a part of the joke. And that's the whole thing. They understand what he's doing. Yeah. And
some people might not. They might not have ever heard of him, and they watch him and they still laugh because like he's
it's pretty
physical.
He's very physical.
Energetic, has
he checks all the boxes, and that's what's so funny about it. It's like he's hitting everything, you know what I mean? And that's, I don't know, you watch him and it's like, god damn, he's a genius. Damn, we're talking about. I've been watching him lately, like his office hours stuff too.
Office hours, yeah. I checked out the one video where Donald Trump called.
I haven't seen it.
Dude, you haven't seen that? Yeah. What? And you watch that show, bro? You gotta.
I started getting into it recently.
This guy does the best Trump, like. But
who's
bro, you're right, man. Tim Heidecker, man. He's I found like their show. I don't even know how I found it. Did I show you Tim and Eric?
I was familiar with Tim and Eric because of just the internet. Yeah. You know what I mean? They would clips would pop up here and there. Also, I think like I was a little bit like late to the show because they were like really popular with like college people and stuff when I was kind of like in middle school. Right. You know what I mean? Like they were getting around when I was younger, so like watching them it was very silly and funny and it didn't make sense. You know what I mean? God.
Yeah, it's bizarre. It's totally bizarre.
Some of the stuff, yeah. But I also remember seeing things like Celery Man with Paul Rudd.
Yeah, that's a great bit. God. I love that skit.
Just humor like that
it's very silly.
That's it for me.
Not really much writing in that skit, you know. It's
just funny, and that's the thing. It's a funny idea, and it comes. I think what's so fun about that is that that comes from. You can just tell that comes from somebody just thinking, "Oh, wouldn't this be funny if?" And then like they poured resources into that.
Well, the funny thing is they are film. They are just checking if it's still rolling. They went to film school. Like they're legit.
From what I heard, like I've seen interviews with them and stuff.
So that's why, like, I think their stuff is palatable to the point where it's like you can
Well,
watch.
because they're careful for, and this is what I always want to be careful for, of as well in my stuff, is that even though what I'm putting out is going to be nonsense and it's going to be, it's going to be dumb, I still want it to follow the rules. You know what I mean? Like the rules of a story, or like, you know what I mean? Like not just put out shit. Like put out, because in that way it's like at least you can't shit on it that way. You know what I mean? And it's I don't know. I feel like that's putting out just good material, and that's what they do. They just constantly put out good stuff, and that's because I think they're obviously educated. Like they're fucking smart.
I think, dude. Also, you just kind of have to like put together stuff and be creative and meticulous to the point where you like it yourself, and like you watch it and it's entertaining to you to an extent. Like it has to be good enough. Like for instance, I watched the Simpsons movie. Have you seen it?
Believe it or not, weirdly enough, and I recently discovered the Simpsons. I have not seen the movie.
The Simpsons movie, man, is amazing.
I'm familiar with the memes as well, Spider Pig, and I know the premise of the movie.
And I hadn't really like appreciated the Simpsons writing or like stuff like that because I was so young and whenever it came out.
Those guys are in the pocket, dude.
Dude, it's so solid. So solidly funny with good jokes, and not only good jokes, but like creative humor and like stuff that's like kind of like you wouldn't expect like a professional show to do some of the certain things that they're doing, right? Like you wouldn't expect like shows to like in a movie like put a advertisement thing for Fox. Like in the middle of the movie, like they had a Fox advertisement. They're like, watch Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader on Thursdays. Yeah, we put advertisements in movies too.
That is, so it's just meta stuff, and I think that's what I
love meta.
They've been, before the movie, they were around for so long. At that point, they're with making a movie with a world that's already that rich. It's like there are no, it's like that's a playground that they've made.
That's
you know,
a world
you know what I'm saying?
They created.
There's so much too that they've already brought, like in a movie. Like think about that. That'd be so fucking.
There's things that you do on shows where you really do have to kind of just go for it and like make plot lines and really like.
Well, that's especially
hard situations.
I think what's hard about, and then this is coming from somebody who is not in the biz. You know what I mean? But I would like to be in the biz. But it seems like a lot of people, follow the formulas and they want to do it because it makes money, and you have the actors who get paid to bring stuff in. I don't know. I think a lot of good stuff like doesn't get made because people are scared to, take chances to do something that is original. Making something original though is hard. Like, how do you make something original?
Maybe the hard
that
thing
doesn't follow the formula that hits. It's like I think a lot of people do try it, and that's why you get a lot of failures. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because like a lot of people are just trying shit out, and then you get the bangers. Sorry, go ahead. But
maybe that's what's supposed to happen.
Well, it's like the law of like averages. You know what I mean? Like enough people put stuff out, maybe that if you were bound to be good. I don't know. You know how it is. They're fucking brilliant people.
Yeah.
Brilliant people.
Writing is difficult, and man, maybe you gotta like find your own voice in it to really be appreciated and respected amongst people.
I mean, yeah, that just comes, and I mean, I think, but the thing is I think with writing you just have to write, because the hardest thing about writing to me is. Like, you can have amazing ideas and you can get as detailed an outline as possible, and like it doesn't matter unless you start like putting words to a page. And what's easy for me is to start it and then not continue to like put effort into that project. After, so it's like finish it. That's the thing. It's like I have not like pushed through to the end of like writing a long I've written short stuff, you know what I mean? Short stuff, but like,
oh yeah,
you know what I mean? So like, that's the hardest thing, and I think a lot of
Dude.
people kind of fall into that.
That's just the thing, man. That's the toughest about that. Like, if that's your goal, dude, then you cannot like let anything stop you from writing. And like, bro, writing is a non-negotiable part of your day. And like, you're putting
Well, that's the
effort to
thing,
that
man.
book almost like religiously.
And so it's like, then I'll ask, it's like, is that something I want to do? And then that'll get, it's like, I know I want to be a writer, what type of writer? And that's why I was like,
Why do you want to be a writer?
well, it's like because I know that because I wrote stuff throughout school for like projects and stuff, and like that's the thing that I was always.
Same here.
They told me like, this is what you should probably get into.
Oh wow,
you know what I mean?
Told you?
So like
Okay.
that was fuel for me. It's like that gave me a lot of direction. Like, hey, because I'm already like in music, and you know the creative writing has been such a strength. Like, I know that I have to do something with it. It doesn't mean I have to go and be an author. You know what I mean?
Bro, I think about it. I'm like, man.
That's why I want to do stand-up.
Yeah, like certain people have certain types of levels of talent in some things, and certain people
I think
don't
people
have
ranges, yeah.
those talents in the same things that you or I have. So, for instance, we're good stage performers to an extent. Everyone, I'm not a freaking pro, but shit, like I get up there and I can be like solid, and I don't let anything
I just think you're
shake
comfortable.
me.
You're just comfortable up because you've been
Comfortable
on
up
the
there.
stage enough times. But that's the thing. It's like play a football game in a stadium right now with like a crowd of like a shit ton of people watching. I'm sure you would be a little nervous.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? It's like I'm not an athlete.
What I noticed, dude, is like just people in general have like certain attributes that are stronger than some other people. So like you get up there and you have the jokes and like you're solid and you're getting laughs, but like you're somewhat awkward for whatever reason. Like there's just something about you that's like you can't like connect to the audience in that way. I feel like that's
Are you
me.
talking to me? Like, are you saying that, or are you saying that about yourself?
No. Just like this is what I've observed, and that's a for instance. Like, but there's many different levels to it. Like, you could have the best attitude. This is where I feel like I am. Like, I have a really good attitude towards comedy in a way, and like I have a good stage presence, but like my jokes aren't there. Like I'm still finding what's funny and trying to find my voice and delivery and all of it. So I feel like that's where I need to improve, But everyone has like certain things that come naturally.
I think that's just a path, and we're so like that's still at the beginning of it. It's like
Right.
You're going up there, and you have a what is it? A cadence, like a natural cadence.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a natural way, like a natural timing to where you know how to go up there, say things, and get laughs, like funny things.
There's
So it's like you're there.
it.
And I think that you are, just like me, and just like anybody who's new, is you're trying to like find out, because I don't know, it's like a weird, it's like a big soup. It's like you have who you are, you know what I mean? You have like what makes you laugh, but then once you like try with our awkward like I don't know, it's not like we're not masterfully skilled when it comes to crafting these like jokes yet. We're still kind of clumsy, and so it's like figuring out how to make jokes, not only because I think a lot of people get caught, like I was saying earlier, in like looking up how do I go and make jokes, and like I watched Jerry Corley.
Yeah,
I watched fucking Jerry Corley
and
shit.
With that stuff.
And but I think what you have to do is like find what you no, and it's not bad info.
Yeah.
And that's why there are people who are like comics, but they haven't nobody knows who they are. You know what I mean? Because they're
an understanding of things.
Well, I think it's a mix,
things
dude.
with a grain of salt.
It's a mix of knowing, obviously, like that, having an understanding of how it works, but also putting your unique, specific humor into that. Because I think everybody has their own special blend of humor based off of just what they've gone through in life. You know what I mean?
Oh, definitely.
So it's
your
like
own perspective.
Yeah. So if you can like if you can come to a place, I think, where you can tap into that and to kind of be just truthful and unapologetically you, and tap into being confident on stage, because that's an attribute. But as we've seen, there are people who are confident on stage and I laugh at these people. It's
Have you?
they're the ones who are like fucking laugh, motherfucker.
Have you heard of neurolinguistics programming?
No.
You've never heard of that?
I mean, it sounds scary from what you just told me.
No, it's amazing, dude.
Is it like the Neuralinks Elon Musk stuff, or no?
Well, it's just psychology. Like, this was kind of stuff invented by Freud, you know, and behavioral psychologists, scientists, you know, back in the day, like Freud, you know, and they would say,
anytime I think of Freud, I think of a penis.
You have your own, like, way that you can use your speech to map out how you want people to perceive your reality. So, like, you can use certain gestures, you can make eye contact, body image mirroring, just being a generally nice person. Like, there's certain, like, neurolinguistics that we use as humans that, like, we really fall into traps more than we think with sales to some degree. Like, dude, there's neurolinguistic programming with advertisements, like fast food stuff. Like, you see that shit and it's like, boom, it's popping, you're there and you're like, I want that thing.
That's what I do for a job.
Dude, yeah, sales. That's the same thing that I'm doing too. Like, it's like, and you get into this because you're in sales, and you got to know, how can I improve my numbers? You know, like, how can I connect to people easier?
Well, and I think there's a one, like, being quick enough to think. Like, what's interesting about sales is you can come across it mathematically all you want, and it's good to know the numbers. It's amazing because that's your ammo. Boom, boom, boom. If you don't know the numbers, then you're going into it blind. You know what I mean? But if you don't know how to, like, handle a person and talk to a person and get them out of their little comfort zone bubble, like, if you're not comfortable with putting yourself out there, then it doesn't matter how many numbers you know about the account. Like, literally, I mean, I could show you in all my systems, it shows all the numbers, so you can't, you know what I mean? So you can't mess it up. And you have to not be scared to ask, like, the hard questions. And I think if we can relate this to, like, putting yourself out there in the way of comedy, it's like, you just can't be scared to put out, you know, jokes that you wrote that you think are funny. And guess what? What I think is important is if you write something and you go up there and you say it and it's not funny, like, nobody should laugh at that. Mm-hmm. And you should be able to take it and go, okay, I understand what you were telling me is don't do that.
Yeah, bombing is like shitting your pants, you know? You really do have to, like take it. You have to, like, if you ever do shit your pants and, like, you're in public or something, like, dude,
you can't just sit on the floor.
You can't just take off the pants and, like, throw them away right then and there. People look at you crazy.
By the way, what a cool way to deal with shitting your pants. Just take them off and just
in the middle,
just still go
leaving like a wiener,
like holding a coffee, in a briefcase.
You, like, shoplift something on your way out. They don't even notice because they're pantsless and have to put on your ass.
They're like, he just took something. And they're like,
they don't even notice the reasons. Yeah, just let him be.
We don't want that.
Clean up on aisle 4. And with that, bro. Yo, check me and Brando out on Wednesday nights, man. We go out there to the comedy club, and where is it, Brandon? Plug.
I mean, we'll plug. We don't get paid for them.
Plug
from them.
We might.
We're open micers around Dallas. You'll catch us at Hyenas in Dallas and sometimes Fort Worth. There are other mics. I go to this spot. Tavern at the Square, cool little eating bar. Right? Cool
I want to check it out this Thursday.
Other places, there's so many. Just look up comedy. I think the most important, just go support local comedy.
Oh, big time.
Go support the local.
They're nice people, man. We have a really tight knit comedy community.
Just go laugh.
Yeah,
that's it.
It's very tight knit.
Just let loose a little bit. Cause jeez, fucking.
Couldn't have said it better, bro. Couldn't have said it better. And with that being said, man, we did it. One podcast in the book. Tim and Brando save the world!